To awesome beginnings, to poorly well received beginnings before beginnings, to oh my and oh no of today. After all this catastrophe, we have to ask ourselves, is Star Wars just always gonna hit the fan? Now, don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars. You can't be a movie fan, a sci fi fan, a superhero fan, and even an anime fan if you don't love Star Wars. This series is just a mix of them all. But with all this talents, it's failing to avoid disjunction. Let's start off at the beginning, shall we? Star Wars started off back in 1977. After this, humanity was blessed with a promising franchise of memes sweeter than cookies. I still love my cookies, though. Star Wars changed the world, and it changed the world for films alongside Star Trek. There was something special about Star Wars. It had the magic before Disney even sprinkled their pixie dust. So, what happened after such a successful launch, leading this franchise into hell? What made the train go south? Well, let's begin with the first mark of it, the infamous prequel trilogy. What could have brought Star Wars back to a new era turned out to be a failure. George Lucas' idea of the beginning before the Darth Vader era was, not gonna lie, a well thought out idea, but people just didn't like it. And I can understand why, because it was just not executed right. The main problem with the prequel trilogy was confusion, bad dialogue, and weird romance. To be honest, the prequel trilogy had great dialogue in my eyes. It was mainly Anakin and Padme dialogue that was not so good. To be honest, the dialogue in the prequel trilogy was some of the greatest dialogue I've ever heard in movies.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Except this part. Oh, good. Oh, God. Get as mean, terrible as dialogue. But this scene was one of the many problems of a prequel trilogy. Lack of good dialogue, misunderstood characters, pacing, and memes that contradict themselves.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Prequel trilogy was a fresh new world of Star Wars, dancing lightsaber fights, different politics, and well, same enemies, but different from the original trilogy. One of the main problems of a prequel trilogy was Anakin Skywalker. For me, I liked him in episode 1. Episode 2 made him a jerk and a dork and a creep. Episode 3 cleaned him a little bit, but sadly it wasn't enough for critics and people. Anakin Skywalker honestly needed the Iron Man treatment. The problem with Anakin was the audience back then really wasn't into his character. He wasn't fleshed out. He had poor dialogue, poor writing, and we just didn't really get the chance and time to connect with him. I mean, that was the main issue of a prequel trilogy, and went by so fast people really didn't get a chance to cope with the characters. Luckily, we've had TV series to help us connect with the characters and establish character arcs for them that gave redemption to the prequel trilogy and rebuild the friendship between Star Wars fans and the prequels. The Clone Wars gave a development and ground building that the prequels needed. To me, the prequels were too short-lived. In a span of 6 years, it definitely needed the MCU treatment. Now, to the present, the sequel trilogy. Another promising trilogy which was going to bring Star Wars back to the screen. Definitely had potential to put Star Wars as one of the toppers in cinema history. Well, Star Wars has already topped itself in cinema history. But unfortunately, this trilogy ended the story of the Skywalkers on a sad note. Now, the sequel trilogy had all kinds of problems, a lot that I won't go in a long, in-depth analysis. Let's just say politics and Star Wars don't mix well, alongside of, once again, not so good character writing. Characters in the sequel trilogy felt empty, with short lived character arcs and other weird, ugh. The main reason why I'm mentioning politics is because, with the latest Gina Carano incident, if I said her name wrong, please forgive me, okay? I'm not a Jedi, so I don't know the Force to say her name right. It lets you know as long as politics gets involved with Star Wars, it's never safe, and politics in Star Wars is never safe. To be honest, even when we go to the canon universe, politics just is not good for anybody. Nobody is safe in this universe from politics. Now, let's bring up another topic from earlier. Anakin, the Chosen One himself, was also Anakin the Chosen One himself was honestly a main problem of Star Wars. And honestly, it also involves the actor too. Hayden Christensen did a good job bringing Anakin to the screen. It's just that dialogue and once again poor writing made people hate him. If you ever make an anthology film like Rogue One or Han Solo during the prequel series, have this dude come back. Let him redeem himself. Honestly, after the mess of a sequel trilogy, the prequels deserve a break.
I don't like sand. It's coarse.
I don't know. Every franchise faces problems. Star Wars is not the only one. But I just feel like in my lifetime currently, I see Star Wars as the one suffering from this occurrence mostly. Now, if we're to wrap this up shortly, Star Wars has faced a lot of problems with not so good story writing, repetitive story writing, and once again, in general, just not so good writing. But honestly, Star Wars has had some good written series. The Mandalorian's going good. Fortunately, with the Gina situation, things are going south. But I really feel like the problem is Star Wars right now. George Lucas, he was the creator of Star Wars, and he had an idea. The problem was it just wasn't executed enough good for movies, and to say that honestly is wrong too, because Episode 4 was good, Episode 5 and 6 was good. Now I don't think George Lucas directed Episode 5 and 6. I think he did direct Episode 4, but 5 and 6 I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he didn't. But what the bottom line is, the prequel trilogy, the problem was, I always say this, it just wasn't executed enough and expanded on. I feel like, honestly, what needed to happen was the prequel trilogy really needed the MCU treatment, the Iron Man treatment. It should have honestly, it should have probably honestly been a series. And there would have been nothing wrong with movies in between, honestly. But I feel like the problem is, it probably would have been better as a TV series, maybe having 5, 6, or 7 seasons, and maybe that would have helped played it out a little bit more better. Problem was the prequel trilogy, it was too rushed and just so much going on that some people, I guess, didn't understand it. But anyway, is Star Wars cursed? Like I said earlier, I just feel like in my lifetime I see Star Wars as the one franchise suffering from this constant currents mostly. Is Star Wars cursed? Is this beautiful space opera destined to always live in the bittersweet pinpoint of a ruler? We'll never know, but we'll live on to see. Hey guys, Night Arts here. Thanks for watching my video. For support, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Feel free to don't have to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm not forcing anyone. You feel free to do what you want. Feel free. Now that my channel is kicking off a little bit more than now, I plan to make more videos like this. I like making videos regarding these topics. I try to be careful nowadays because nowadays your own words can be used as weapons against you. So I don't want to say anything else. But I do plan to make more videos about this. I like making these discussion videos. I'm an art and animation channel. So far I'm doing animations. I don't really be doing a lot of drawing and all that stuff, but I will do in the future. And animations, like I said, I make animations. Check them out. If you're an anime fan, I always enjoy making like stick animations or animations of anime. But anyway, thanks guys for watching the video. Like I said, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you, but feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you later.